Hello, everybody. Welcome to Boss Rush After Dark, the alternative podcast to the Boss Rush podcast on the Boss Rush Network. I am not LaRon. LaRon is out doing his own After Dark stuff with his boyfriend. So,
And we support him completely in that endeavor.
we do. I am your host for this evening, Corey Deering, and alongside me is Mad Pharmacist herself, Stephanie Master Sword Klimov.
Jesus Christ.
And just way after dark. It's been dark outside since 4:30 in the afternoon, and I hate it.
Yeah, it's true.
Hello.
Hello. Also joining us is the man, the myth, the legend, Matthew Keel.
Yeah, when I leave for work, it's dark, and when I come home from work, it's dark.
Ugh, yes,
I never
that's
see
depressing.
the sun.
Same. Also joining us is the multi-tool himself, Josh Finney.
Okay.
That was not
Ooh.
what I was expecting, but okay.
I'm here for
Hey.
this.
I mean, it's better than the mini tool, am I right?
It's true.
Oh.
It's true.
Mhm.
Yeah. So those are Destiny weapons, by the way, everybody.
Oh, I thought you were being creative.
No. I mean, it kind of was creative, but
Well, now the
here's,
secret.
I have to,
now the
every time
secret's
Josh
out,
is on a
it's
show. Look, Josh and I do a Destiny podcast together, so every time he's on, I have to come up with a new Destiny nickname for him.
He does. Corey was running out of nicknames, so we had to ask the community for names.
We did. We even have
Oh.
we even have a shirt on our store with a bunch of nicknames that I've called Josh over the years.
It's true.
It's true. Anyways, hi guys. How's it going? How's everyone feeling?
So, just peachy.
Yeah.
Doing well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have one
Yeah.
more major work presentation tomorrow to leadership, and then I took Friday off, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Ooh, fun. I have 3 more podcasts to record for work for the rest of the
Jeez.
year, and I'm done.
Oh, that'll be nice. All right.
So,
You're almost there.
Well, I still technically have to work next week, but since everybody took their PTO next week and my boss is on vacation,
It'll
I'll
be
be
slow.
working from home. I'll be
Yeah.
working from home. I'll pretty much be answering emails all week if I get any. So, yeah, that's what's happening in the life of the adults in the room. Patreon, you know the drill. Our Patreon producers for this episode, I'm not going through the whole spiel. I don't really feel like it because we're doing a shorter show tonight, and
And if you don't know by now, you don't
Yeah.
deserve to be on our Patreon. Just kidding.
Whoa.
Please join.
Whoa. Our Patreon producers for this episode of Boss Rush After Dark are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Christian Skipper, my wife, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, Rebecca Jewell, and, for the first time, Deshaun Malone.
Yeah.
Woo!
I want to thank all of our Patreon producers. I want to thank all of our patrons. I want to thank all of our free listeners. Remember, all of our content remains free. If you are a free listener, leave us a 5-star rating or review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you're watching the video, like, subscribe, do all the things there. And, yeah. Patreon's favorite show, by the way. Just going to keep reminding everybody. Patreon's favorite show. This After Dark stuff.
No pressure.
Yeah. So, all right. So who has a topic? Matt, you usually come up with good ones, or Josh, either one.
So I don't have a spicy topic
Why not?
because I just don't.
Uh,
You'll have to excuse me. It's December 14th when we're recording this, and the World Cup is about to come to a close, so that's kind of been at the forefront of my thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are now set for the final. It's going to be France versus Argentina. The third place game is going to be Croatia versus Morocco. And this has been a wonderful tournament. I'm going to bet that nobody here wants to talk about it, so I'm not going to bore you anymore.
Are you
We should
enjoying
put
it,
him-
Josh? Are you enjoying it, Matt?
Oh man, this tournament has been fucking wild. This tournament has been crazy. And yes, I am enjoying it. It's probably the best World Cup that I've seen live.
Oh, wow.
Because I usually watch every single game that happens. I've done that since the 98 World Cup. And I've seen just about every match going back as far as 78. So
Wow. We should have had Stoy on here.
Yeah. Man, we would have just been. We should have just let them go.
take it. You could just take a seat, just relax a while,
Mm-hmm.
because I will talk your ear off about soccer.
Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win, Matt?
So the logic center of my brain is saying that there's very little that can stop France, but I would really like to see Argentina win it because it'll be Lionel Messi's last real shot at a World Cup. And he's one of, if not the greatest player to have ever played this game. I think a nice romantic idea is him getting the World Cup, winning the French league with his club, Paris Saint-Germain, and then getting the Ballon d'Or and retiring. Like I think that is just a wonderful way to walk into the sunset. It would probably make him the soccer equivalent of Ted Williams, where Ted Williams, hit that final home run and then walked off for the last time. Like, there's no better way for him to do that. I think it's a tall ask to get past France, though, because France are looking to do something that hasn't been done in 60 years, which is win a consecutive World Cup. The last team to do that was the 58 and 62 Brazil teams.
Boo, go underdog then.
Yeah.
When is that? Is that tonight?
Sunday.
Or tomorrow?
It's Sunday.
Oh, not even close. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, it depends. Do we want to go serious or spicy. Or cliche?
Spicy. Always spicy.
We can't end the year on a serious one.
It's the holidays. Where's your holiday spirit?
Ha!
Your holiday spice, we could say.
Spicy. Do it. What's the spicy topic, Stephanie?
Do it.
Why me?
Because you asked.
Well, I didn't choose spicy, Josh.
I don't have a topic in mind. I was not told to bring and prepare a topic. So...
Listen, my creative tank is so low. The only thing that comes to mind is New Year's resolutions, and that's
all right. Here we go. Mutual masturbation. Let's talk about it.
What?
Mutual masturbation?
You wanted spicy. There you go. First thing that popped into my head.
When
you and your partner are both masturbating and watching each other?
Yeah, or helping each other.
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly.
That's cool.
What? I mean... but I will say, like, I get stage fright is not the right word. I'm not doing this in front of a stage, but I don't know. I kind of get self-conscious looking at someone looking at me.
Well, I was more mutual is when I believe you are doing it to each other.
Oh, still with the eye contact thing.
Foreplay?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it could be foreplay. You finish the job and then keep going.
I mean, sometimes it's hard, like challenging physical logistics, getting your arm
100%.
around one another.
I mean, sometimes you just need a helping hand, okay?
Oh, yeah.
The Houdini.
The whodunit.
The Houdini.
Wow, the whodunit, yeah.
Oh man, good times.
No
hands,
that a good
everybody.
time?
No hands. Title of the episode, by the way. No hands.
Nice.
We talked about soccer. Not allowed to use. We talked about
soccer, and then we talked about masturbating for about 90 seconds.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever done that here
I mean,
in this house.
wait.
Okay,
You
here's
got
one. Here's one. I think try and think of this as a funny question. Okay, we are in the holiday time,
yes.
so I'm going to assume y'all have gone to a partner's family's place for the holidays and seen some ratchet ass shit.
Yeah, sure have.
Have you ever been front row seat for some spicy holiday stuff? Not necessarily spicy in the bedroom holiday stuff, but
I would hope I
That
would
would
have
be
some.
weird.
I'm not
I
going to
would
yuck
have some
anybody's
serious
yum on this
questions.
Yeah.
one. But what you got? Holiday stories, holiday foul ups by partners.
Oh my gosh.
The
Partners'
first
families.
Christmas that I ever spent with my girlfriend's family, I went over there. It was fine. Her parents are really overbearing, and I was like, "Well, this was weird. My family is nothing like this." The next year, we were living together, and we invited them over to our house for Christmas Eve. They flat out refused to eat the food that we had cooked for them because they were convinced I was an alcoholic.
Oh.
Because her mom opened the fridge. We had just moved in like a week earlier, mind you, like a week before Christmas. And all we really had in the fridge was like bottled water and beer. I didn't really
And just
have
by
a
that
lot.
alone?
And then there was like the whole box of my liquor that was sitting on the counter that I hadn't unpacked yet. And so her mom just assumed that because I did not have real food in the fridge at this point in time, mind you, I had just walked in with said real food, that we were alcoholics now, that I had corrupted their daughter completely. So despite me making pizzas for them, they refused to eat them and were very rude in my home. The next year is where you could definitely tell the tone had shifted. I went over. My Christmas present from them was, I kid you not, a gas station pack of Oreos. So one of those like little boxes of them, an apple, and a used box of tissues.
Wait, seriously?
Yes. They do not acknowledge me anymore on the holidays, nor do I go over there on the holidays. December 26th is when my partner is spending Christmas with her insane family, and I shan't be partaking.
I do not blame you. Wow, that's the most.
Oh,
Wow.
that's extremely tame. These people are fucking insane. Like, you talk about some of the most batshit things you could imagine your parents doing, and these two have probably done it. So, yeah. No, I simply don't go over there. I choose not to partake in any of it. And, my stress levels go down slightly during the holiday season. I only have to worry about my insane family after that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The
Oh my
open
gosh.
box of tissues was honestly like low key the most insulting and the funniest thing I've ever gotten as a present.
Yeah.
In a Target bag.
You're just kind of like, wow, you really did that, didn't you?
I took it very graciously. I think they were trying to get a reaction out of me, and I was just like, thank you so much. I was just saying the other day how we needed tissues for the bathroom. Thank you so much for this.
Oh, I bet you that went up their ass sideways, actually. That's great.
Oh, I mean, it went all the way up their ass and out their noses, I promise you. They were just flabbergasted. They couldn't believe it. They could not believe that I sat there and gave them a snarky remark back. It's great. It's great.
Good.
Yeah. I might go over there and
Wow.
have to spike the eggnog at some point.
Whew, I thought my parents were judgmental. I'm speechless.
Wow. That's
Nope.
I mean my
I love my parents.
I also love my parents, but
I threatened to skip my family Christmas.
my mom's side of the family, every Christmas they come over to my parents' house. We go to my parents' house, and my mom's side shows up, and most of them, I wouldn't say most of them, I would say like 3 of them in particular are people who show up just for the gifts and to argue and then leave. And a lot of the times they stay and they argue, and the longer they stay, the louder they get, and they're the ones that nobody likes in our family, including
Oh.
we'll say one of them. We're gonna say one of them tried to go to the January 6th thing but she didn't have enough.
Oh,
She didn't have enough money. She's that type of person.
Ooh.
sounds like my future in-laws.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, last year when we found out my cousin was sick, tried to come over with her COVID-infested children right after she had gone through chemo, and we wouldn't let her come over, and she didn't talk to anybody for like 3 months, 4 months.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's not okay.
I
Yikes.
don't I
No.
I very rarely say I don't like someone, especially in like a family atmosphere. They're just people that are like, okay, well, I just ignore them or whatever, right? I'll be nice to them on the holidays or whatever, but I don't really care
Yeah.
either way. This person I go out of my way to
Avoid.
yeah. And it kind of sucks because
Hey.
she literally lives like right down the street from us. So I see her at the gas station sometimes, and it, I try to not acknowledge her existence.
Gotta do what you gotta
Yeah.
do.
So
I don't think I've ever been to a significant other's family for the holidays, primarily because my family is the type of family that if I go to another kind of family, then it's like the biggest sin,
No.
insult that I put another family in front of my own family. So it's like,
Mhm.
whoa. That and I don't know, maybe I just had really shitty significant others. I don't know. And then my ex-husband, like his parents were in Russia, so it's not like, oh, we're gonna fly to Russia for Christmas.
Yeah.
I know
Um,
I
Yeah,
hear things
no.
are good over there right now.
yeah. So yeah. Actually, I'm trying to. This will be the first time. So funny you mentioned it, Matt. Like first time I will be trying to go do my significant other's family for Christmas this year. So this will be my first experience. I do not know what it'll be like. I do like his family so far, but I just know I got to be careful because his parents are very religious. That is not like what do you call it?
A
A
dig.
snide remark at religion, because I myself, as I'm a Catholic, I identify as Catholic, but it's just like,
Mm.
there's different levels of religion, right? There's
Yeah.
people that are
Sure.
not religious at all, maybe personally religious, and then there's the people that are like,
Glory,
like
glory, hallelujah.
like when him and I went to New York. I don't know. He's gonna listen. He's gonna kill me. He's an almost 50-year-old man. He goes, "Don't tell my parents we stayed at a hotel together." I'm like, okay. You're almost.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, really? You still need to do that? So
Yeah, I had my girlfriend had that conversation with me the first time we went on vacation. She had moved out of her parents' house probably about 6 months before, and was living in her
Mhm.
own apartment. And we went on vacation together. And she was like, "Yeah, so if you could not tell my parents that we just shared a room for like 6 days, that would be great." I was like, "Why? Like, you live on your own. You're like 23. Why would we not tell your parents? Like, why would you offer that information up, first off? Second off, why is it any of their business, like, what we're doing on vacation? That's weird.
right.
Like, do they not know that I come over every single weekend and stay with you? Like, from the day you moved in, the second they left is when I showed up. Do they not understand that I
You sleep on
basically
the
live
couch,
here half
sir.
the time?" Yeah. Oh no, her mom is the kind of person like that would expect you to get two separate hotel rooms because
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah.
as the man, I should be willing to do that. And I'm like, no, this is my girlfriend. We've been together
Mm.
for a couple of years now. Absolutely not. We're on vacation away from you.
Mhm.
It's gonna get
Yeah.
spicy, people. Okay.
Listen, like
I'll
I
sell
do
you a
kind
TV. No, I'm kidding.
I do kind of understand, only because I have parents like that, but not for religious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
They even asked me on that same trip. My parents are like, "You guys are getting two separate hotel rooms, right?" I'm like, "Mom, are you serious? You think that's financially responsible?" So like, my parents are in that same way, and
Yeah.
I sometimes might fudge the truth just so I don't have to hear it,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
simply so I don't have to hear it. But like after the fact, my mom found out, and guess what? Like hell didn't freeze over, because as much as my mom is a tiger mom, I am 34. She does now acknowledge to a certain level, like, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. So that's the only reason why I'm slightly critiquing my partner, because I'm like, dude, you're almost 50 and you can't even acknowledge this to your parents.
Well, are you youngest, oldest, only?
I'm an only child.
Okay. All right. Now,
Yeah.
that would probably be the thing that would probably factor into it. I'm just guessing from your parents' point of view, like you're still like their baby to a degree.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I was at my aunt's for Christmas, and my ex-husband, when we were dating at the time, moved in. My parents did
Mhm.
not know yet. I wasn't ready to tell them because that's like sacrilege.
Yeah.
I told my aunt, who is notorious for having a big mouth, but I thought I could trust her. I said
Never
that
trust the
night,
aunt.
Christmas
That's
Eve.
Never
how they
trust the
get
aunt.
you. That's how they
Yeah.
get you.
Trust me, I've since learned my lesson. I told her that night, don't tell my mom, but oh yeah, Demi, my ex and I, we moved in. Literally the same night, within an hour at the dinner table, she goes, "So, Steph, how are you enjoying living with so and so?" And my mom just like, I could hear the silverware just go clink. I'm like, "Aunt Bev." She goes, "She'll be fine." I'm like, "Two different cultures, man. You just fucked me."
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's always an
You
awkward
turn into
conversation.
Eric Cartman. I prefer to be taken to dinner before I get fucked.
We
Yeah.
we did not tell my girlfriend's parents that we were moving in until after her stuff was already over there. And then she was like, "Oh yeah," because they came over to see her sister one day. They just had this habit of inviting themselves over. And they showed up and they're like, "Oh, where's your
Oh.
sister?" She's like, "Oh, she moved out. You didn't know?" It's like, "Oh god. Yeah, they showed up first and last time they showed up on my doorstep unannounced."
Wow.
And it's like I answered doors. It's like, "No, you can't come in here. Like you can come in if we both say it's okay, but you're not coming in unless I give you permission. This is my home. I'm paying the rent right now. This is my home.
Mm-hmm.
You're not
My
coming
name's
in.
on the lease.
Yeah,
Son.
you're nosy as hell. So no."
So is she the oldest, youngest, in the middle? Not that,
She's the
you know.
youngest child, but they're like this with
Oh.
they were like this with all of their kids.
Ooh.
Like they are the kind of people that very clearly had children just so they would have somebody to take care of them when they got old.
Oh, okay.
Her mom has like
Yeah.
this fantasy, I guess, that none of them would ever be married and would just like live at home and take care of her all the time. She's never had.
That's delusional.
Oh yeah, her mom's
Yeah.
never had a job in her life. Her dad barely works, and it's like, oh, this is awkward. Her oldest sister still lives at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like 38 and still lives at home. It's very awkward. So we're like, nope, we're over here having a mature relationship. The middle sister's having a mature relationship, and she's cut the whole family off completely outside of us.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, come on, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the day. Waiting for the day. Let's do it. Just cut it off. I can't do this anymore. They're insane.
Wow. Listen,
Oh,
I am
man.
fully training my son to be a mama's boy, but there will be a day where I acknowledge that you got to do your thing.
Yeah.
Just visit once in a while, or text or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever it
Yeah.
will be.
Yeah, don't be as distant as my parents, but also like I don't want you clinging to me. Go live your life, man.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
My
balance.
mom's that way
So,
still, though. To be fair, like I'm the only
Corey, are you a
I'm
mama's
an only
boy?
child. But
You're definitely a mama's
but
boy.
sometimes I wonder if my mom thinks my children were just magically appeared in our lives. Like that's how like
Midwestern parents are weird,
Yeah.
man. Like I mean, my family will never listen to this because none of them have any interest in anything that I do.
Yeah.
Which is fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. I've dealt with this my entire life. But whenever I go home, I'm 43. I am perpetually, I'm the youngest child, even though I'm the youngest, most irresponsible child, even though my sister is 3 years younger than me. It has been routine, and luckily, like, because I have a 1,000-mile buffer, like I've not had the comedy to bring my partners home for a holiday. And even when I was really dating, like back then, like never really happened. But if I go home, like, and when my dad was still around, may he rest in peace, I would get the question, so when are you moving back? Like, you moved to Philly, like, I don't see anything panning out for you there.
Oh, Jesus.
And I'm like, so what have I done since I've moved to Philly? I did something that I wanted to do. I started making movies. I almost curated a film festival here locally. I went to school by myself, something I did not do back home. I went to school. I got married. I got divorced. And I got married again. And I feel like I have a life out here. And if I come home, I'm perpetually like hindered from being who I am. And I'm cis, I'm white, I'm straight. I'm not marginalized in any way except when I'm in my parents' house. I'm not going to like make light of anybody's struggles with that comment. I'm not trying to, but I'm just saying that's how it feels. So I'm very lucky that I've never had to expose a partner to that. Only when my parents would come here did they get exposed to that. And the funny thing is, the two funniest interactions where my parents have been completely out of pocket happened while I lived 1,000 miles away from where I was born, 1,000 miles away from their house. In my first apartment, they came over, we went out to dinner, we all had a few drinks. And while I would engage my parents in political discussion, even though we are vastly different, it's the only thing we can talk about. Like, they don't want to hear about movies. They don't want to hear about music. They definitely don't want to hear about games. They don't want to hear about sports. So usually, like, they only watch Fox News. So politics it is.
Oof.
Oof. So at one point in my first apartment, my mom, when I was 23, in my apartment in Philly, tried to ground me because she forgot where she was. And this was near a holiday, so I'm counting it. So that was funny, and she didn't believe me until I actually pulled out the lease and said, "That's my name, not yours. Do you want to leave, or do we want to just talk civilly?" And she chose to leave.
Wow.
That was hilarious. I mean, talk about just owning the bit. And then one Thanksgiving, when my grandmother was still alive, my grandmother came out to see us. It was her first time out here. And I was sitting on the side of the table with my ex-wife, Deanna, here, and my best friend, Abe, here. And within 2 moves, my parents basically shoved both their feet in their mouths. And first it was about something about gay rights. My best friend happens to be homosexual.
Oh no.
And I literally, I'm like, nope. I'm like, Abe, step back, let him go. Not to excuse anything. I'm just like, watch this play out. And then the next thing, my mother goes into immigrants. My ex-wife was born in Romania, came here for college, was on a green card. So I'm like, Deanna, step back. Let's see how this goes. Before I could react to anything, my grandmother stood up in between both of them, smacked them in the back of the head like they were like 6-year-old kindergartners, and said, "Do you know where the fuck you are? Do you understand who you were sitting across the table from?" And then they both went into but they're the good ones. And she's like, "That's even fucking worse." And my grandma Jean, love you.
Why are your grandmas awesome?
Yeah, like my grandma was strong and Sicilian. She didn't give a fuck. But yeah, so yeah, that's I'm just glad that I've never had to expose partners to the entire family all at once, because that would, I mean, when my grandmother passed and my father passed, Reba came with me, and I have a ton of family. My mom's one of 10 kids. My father is one of 7. So she goes over there, and she's not met a lot of my family because most of them don't give a fuck about me, and that's fine. But she's exposed to an absolute crowd of people that she has never seen before, and all of them have so many questions because I'm bad at communicating. Meanwhile, none of them even reach out. So who knows?
Gotta love that.
Funny thing, the most communicative one of my family members is my aunt on my biological father's side. My biological father, he and I have not spoken since I was 18, when he basically sent me a card when I graduated that said, "Have a nice life." But my Aunt Janice and I talk every couple of months. She asks about the pregnancy. She asks about our dog Bagel. She tells me about her kids because I loved them growing up, and yeah. So it's really funny how that.
To be fair, who's not asking about Bagel?
Family? I mean, none of
I
y'all
did earlier
have.
today, or the other day when I
No,
asked you to come on.
No, you didn't. Nope,
I did.
You actually did not.
It's in the Discord.
You probably did. I don't remember. You probably did. I'm not looking at Discord.
There was a thing that what's the best breed of dog, and I said Bagel, and you said,
"Oh yeah." I said there's one answer, and you said Bagel. Yeah, that's right. and even that's wrong.
Bagel's fun.
We love him, but he's barely a dog.
If it makes you all feel better, not that it will, but when my wife and I first started dating, Matt, I think I told this story on an old episode of like B-sides or something.
I think I know where you're going with this.
My wife is an immigrant, and she's Jewish. And my mom was so confused, and we'll say, I don't know what the right word is. Concerned seems like an understatement. Terrified seems like
no, that's the one. Yeah. That's the one.
Alarmed? Was she alarmed?
Unnecessarily terrified?
Because when I told her, I don't even know if I even told my wife this story. But I told her this. My mom said, "What is Jewish?" was the first thing out of her mouth.
Whoa!
And the second thing out of her mouth was, "What are you going to do for Christmas?"
Oh my gosh!
So,
I'm
sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. Sorry.
I mean,
it's a shock. It's just shock.
It is kind of funny, but also like funny, similar to that. Actually, not really similar, but when I tried to introduce my parents to my ex-wife, her name is Deanna, but it's spelled like Diana because Latin language, things like that. And when I said that to my mother, it scrambled her brain. My mom called my ex-wife Danaea for like the first 5 years of our relationship.
Oh, that's cute.
It was not.
It's just like, it's not hard. I just told you how to spell her name in case you wanted to include like a card at any point, and she would write it out, Danaea, as well. It was Midwestern moms.
My favorite question whenever we would go over to my girlfriend's families for dinner or for holidays or anything, her mom would say hi to us, and I have this thing that I don't like being touched by people. Like I actually have an extreme like phobia of being touched by anybody, even like my girlfriend. Sure. I'm still like, it makes my skin crawl. I just like, I don't like it. And her mom refused to respect that boundary and would always want to like hug me, and I'd just be like trying to get away from her. So she would do that because she knew it made me uncomfortable. And then she would always ask my girlfriend, "Are you pregnant?" It's like, oh my God, no, she's not pregnant. Why on earth would you ask her that? She does not even appear pregnant. There's nothing about her that screams pregnancy. Why are you asking if she's pregnant? Why? What possesses somebody to do that? She assumed that just because we are living together, it just must be a nonstop party over here. I'm like, lady, listen, we're in the 2010s, okay? Like, there's things to prevent that now, okay?
Mhm.
It's not, the 1950s anymore, or, clearly in your case, the 1980s.
Did you tell her I'm not a dummy? I came on her tummy.
I absolutely have not talked about what I do in the bedroom with their daughter. I told her I did tell her after we came back from that vacation though, where I found out her mom was asking like all sorts of personal questions about like what were you doing? What were you doing? What'd you do when you went to bed? Did you sleep in the same bed? This and that, blah 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 blah. I was like, if you really want the details, I will tell you in explicit detail, and I guarantee you'll never talk to me again. I guarantee you.
I see. The first time that ever came up with any partner, and this was before my ex-wife, I think it was my dad that asked. I'm like, do you really want to know? He's like, yeah, I want to know, because he was like on one. And I said butt stuff, and he never asked again.
Yeah, no, I've never had to I've never had to dish out any of the details to them, just largely because I stopped talking to them around that time. But
Sure.
yeah, no, it's just that's what Chelsea threatens them with every time that they start asking about our relationship. She's like, man, if you really want to know, like, I can tell you, it's going to scar you for life, but I can tell you. You really want to know what we do, what we get up to on my day off. And it's like completely innocuous stuff, right? But it's like, if you want a detailed list, we can tell you.
If you want me to explain why that power generator's in our basement, okay, buckle up.
What's that swing for?
That case of power bars you see in the garage? Like, listen, you got to keep energized. You got to keep your stamina.
Got that Gatorade
up,
for
okay,
electrolytes, Gotta replenish.
Oh yeah, man! I've got the extra strength Gatorade. Yeah,
let me introduce you to the Master Sword dildo.
Jesus Christ!
Bless my mother, because she does not.
Am I right?
She does not respect boundaries. So whenever she's at my house, she'll just start cleaning,
Mm-hmm.
which I appreciate. But she kind of goes like, she'll just start touching everything.
And I don't, drawers.
I don't even think she does it to find stuff. She just is. I'm cleaning for my daughter, but she doesn't understand like the various reasons why maybe she doesn't need to. Because if she moves something, I won't find it because that's not where I put things.
Right.
And also, she'll go to my bedroom, and I have a lot of things there. And I've seen things get moved, so I know she's seen the condoms. I know she's seen the toy that I use. She's seen, and she has not said anything. I'm like, okay, I'm glad you haven't brought that up.
The very last time she was allowed in our house, my girlfriend's mother she was like, I need to use the bathroom. And we had a 1-bedroom apartment with a bathroom. Well, stupid us, our bathroom connects to both the bedroom and to our closet in that old apartment.
Oh no.
And we were like, she's taking an awfully long time. And like, my girlfriend's dad was very clearly trying to cover for her, like, knew exactly what she was up to. Mm-hmm. And we were finally like, okay, we knocked on the door, like, we're gonna come in. I'm like, are you okay? We think did you hurt yourself or something? You've been in here for 20 minutes. And sure enough, she is back in the closet finding various things you probably do not want your insanely overly religious evangelical mother to find. And it's just, there's nothing more mortifying than having to see your girlfriend's mother find in the same closet your girlfriend's lingerie and your books about Barack Obama. They were both insanely. I will let you figure out which conversation you think was more awkward. It's not the one you think it was.
And then they're like, "Excuse me, can you explain this?"
Yeah, that's when they found out when they found out that I voted for Democrats.
Oof.
Yeah, so that actually diverted the attention away from what would have surely been the most mortifying conversation of my entire life.
You liberal sexual deviant, you.
Literally. And I'm an alcoholic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, so you want to know what we did on that
Alcoholic,
vacation
liberal,
now
sexual
after
deviant.
finding this? Do you want to know? Because I'll tell you, it was the happiest place on earth for sure. Never again. Never again. I will.
And there was alcohol.
There was alcohol. I will never ever again have conversations with them about anything other than surface level topics. And she's gotten to be that way too. It's just like, it's not like family related, it's just, or holiday related. It's just like there's a limit to what people outside of my relationship can know. And like, I'm sorry, your parents do not need to be privy to everything in our relationship.
No.
It's not like we're fighting and having problems or anything. They don't need to know what we do in our private time. They absolutely do not need to know about our sex life. They don't need to know.
Yeah,
that's awkward. Like that's nobody's business but ours. Nobody needs to know about this. Like, why on earth? It's not like we have anything to hide. We're not deviants or like, swingers or something. It's just like, why would you go around like asking your child about their sex life? That's just so, it's fucking weird. Why would you do that? Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, especially when you can say, listen, if you really want to know, you have to subscribe to my OnlyFans.
I don't think you know what OnlyFans is, and I don't think I want
Just
them to know
tell
what
them
OnlyFans
I'm no
is.
fool. I rap my tool.
Good advice for life, kids. I hope there's no kids listening to this.
On that note.
But yeah. Holidays are a magical time.
We did a little bit of serious, a little bit of spicy.
There you go. Best of both worlds.
And we laughed a little bit along the way. Glad I could help out. It started with mutual masturbation, and here we are.
Wow. Thank you.
No glove, no love.
Good talk.
All right.
I hate you so much. I hate you
On
so
that
much
note,
right now.
we're going to wrap it up here. I want to thank everybody for...
Please.
Wrap it up.
Josh, you're never going to think about chocolate-covered churros again the same way. I want to thank everybody for watching or listening to this episode of Boss Rush After Dark.
I'm never going to think about balloon animals the same way again.
I was trying to think of a weird correlation between penis and pun, and all I can come up with is punnis.
That's just a gross word.
Ew. Feel free to keep that one to yourself, buddy.
It's out there.
No,
it's in the world.
It's
in
out
the ether.
there now. It's out there in the Patreon.
You can get the show 2 weeks early on Patreon for just $1, as well as 5 other shows. Josh, Matt, thank you so much for joining us tonight to wrap up the year. This is the last After Dark of the year.
There it is. Wrap up again
for patrons. So we will see you at the end when the ball drop. All right. Okay. Enough with the sex puns. Josh.
Both a beautiful and a special time in a person's life.
Josh, where can we find you?
At Twitter, at Josh_Finn, 2 N's, and on Tower Casuals, the Destiny podcast. We do not talk about ball dropping.
We do talk about.
No,
yeah,
but I do talk about a space rhinoceros and a member of the Blue Man Group fucking on the Blue Man Group's desk, though.
Good.
So
good.
Yep.
Yeah. Sex positive.
It's very inclusive. It's a very inclusive podcast.
We also talk about.
Okay.
We also talk
the
about
helmet stayed on.
Robot human sex as well.
That's true. We did have to recently cover that because there was a very progressive love scene in Destiny recently. Very tasteful between a man and a robot.
Well, that kind of shit does happen in today's society.
The robot was Russian, if it makes anybody feel better.
He's my favorite character, by the way.
All I can think of is that line from Spaceballs. I bet she gives great helmet. And now, the
man.
On that note, who's next?
You can find me on Twitter at @infinite_rewind. You can find me on cohost.org/infinite-rewind. I host other podcasts, but you've heard about them enough.
Stephanie.
People can find me on the internets at Klimov_author, Twitter and Instagram, regularly on the Boss Rush podcast, and my articles on bossrush.net and the EXP cast.
And you can find me at I am Corey HG on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on the Boss Rush podcast, Nintendo Power Block, Tower Casuals, and a plethora of other things here. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. Thank you for supporting us in 2022. And here's to a very good 2023. I couldn't think of it.
You could say that's a wrap
We
on
wrapped
this
up
year.
this year.
Yeah. Happy, belated Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa and all that happy, wonderful things.
Boss Rush
We wrapped it up real good.
Oh, yeah.
Real good. Nice.
Nice.
All right.
Nice and
Goodbye,
tight.
everybody.
Yep.
But not too tight.
Oh, no.
Cut off circulation. It's bad.
If this show lasts long, if this show
Corey,
lasts
end the
longer than
recording!
4 hours.
Well, cockering is going to help.
Stay safe.
See ya.
Start your master swords.